there. We seeing Fat Joe, graffiti on the wall, fucking fire hydrants bust open with water. You gotta drive through that shit. It was just a different type of feel back then. And all of that shit kind of inspired me, man, to do this shit. All of that, man. And a lot of the young cats, they don't understand their history at the end of the day. They don't understand that Grandmaster Flash was the first nigga to scratch. So when you go to a club today and you hear niggas scratching or he digital scratching, like, that shit was just an idea from, a legend who just, you know what I mean? And niggas don't appreciate that. They don't put no respect on that. You know what I'm saying? They don't put no respect on Cool Herc and, Bambaataa and, he's going through his stuff right now. But still, like, that was some legendary shit back then to create something out of nothing that transcended to now me being 31. Shit that my dad was doing when he was a kid. So I respect hip hop different. And, I learned to grasp it and I really wanted to learn, how to really do this shit. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm from there and I feel like that's something that I need to know. Anybody from over there, all the young cats out there now from the towers that's putting on, they feel the same way I do. You know what I'm saying? I just, experienced it early and had a part of it when our culture, our New York shit still was in place. I was there for that as a youngin' coming up, seeing that shit. So that shit was dope, man. I definitely was inspired by hip hop just
Okay.
from all that, man.
Okay. So, you was really a part of hip hop when it was actually like just giving birth to the world. You was actually on that block.
Yeah, man, Cedric and Cedar, man. That's what it's called, man. And go look it up. To tell you, definitely a milestone. You know, considered the birthplace of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? If you really know your history, a lot of people, they taking the game and they just, fucking around with the game and just eating off the game. And people like us who really know where that shit come from. You know what I mean? That shit. Not to say we take it personal, but it's like, we really understand that this shit came from nothing. I don't really think people really grasp that because there's so much money to be made, they can't really fathom that that shit just started on a block that I was walking on all fucking day. And there's a bunch of niggas walking on that shit right now as we speak that's still over there that feel more, connected to the territory maybe than me. Because like I said, I moved eventually, but that's where my, my come up was. And my family was, even to this day, my cousin Torn is connected. He moving around, traveling, he all over the place, but he definitely, niggas still tuning in from time to time with the homies over there. And, you know what I mean? Shit is just real, man. It's like nothing that you gotta make up or fabricate because it's just where I was at. You know what I mean? I got brought into that, so, you know what I mean? To know that hip hop started there, I was just as shocked as anybody else would be. They actually trying to change it. I think they did change it to Hip Hop Boulevard, and they threw like a little last year or this summer that passed. They threw like a big like a gathering over there. So I'm gonna try to catch the next one because that's like home turf. So yeah, so definitely a lot of influence, man, coming from that side. Like you said, you know what I mean? A lot of the young cats should do their history. When I seen that show, The Get Down, you know what I mean? I actually bumped into Shamik more in Atlanta. I was in the club, you know what I mean? And that shit, you can smoke in the clubs in Atlanta. So I'm getting busy and shit. And, what I mean? I ain't gonna put all the business out there how what we politicked about. What I flashed a shot with him on the gram, you know what I mean? And he know what time it is. But yeah, like, I actually told him when I was, like, yeah, I know who you are, bro. Yo, I actually love that series, the Get Down, because that shit was like real shit, you know what I mean? Niggas, they even had, I think, go over there to shoot some of it over there in Cedric and Cedar. But, if you watch that series, which is a dope series on Netflix, I don't think they're going to extend it. But Nas, executive produced it, definitely a New York, hip hop scholar. So, that show is dope. I recommend anybody to go there to get some jewels on how hip hop really even started. And then, I don't mind what the dudes is doing today. Some of it I don't all agree with. Because I'm from the essence. You had the battle back in the day. Like this shit started like, his crew, this crew, that crew. Niggas is b-boying, we breakdancing, everything was competitive and battling. So if you take the essence out of the lyrics and shit like that and nobody's an animal, it kind of defeats what it was. And that's why certain people like the OGs is having a disconnect with what the young niggas is doing today, because they're not really battling, they just doing, vibing and having some fun. Which is what hip hop is about too. It's about having fun. So I don't even knock that shit. I do some of that shit too. I'm a blend of all of that shit. I do some, that's why you hear my music, you're gonna hear some storytelling, you're gonna hear some concepts, because that's what this shit was based off of. I feel like the first conscious rappers ever was for niggas from New York. Because we invented it, and at that point, it was more about unity and bringing motherfuckers together and spreading a message. And that's right there is consciousness. At that time, the 5% and all the, Malcolm X and all that type of righteous speaking was, Rakim the God MC, actually, out from Long Island as well. He actually was even, considered the God MC. You know what I mean? Because of the righteousness on the mic. You know what I'm saying? And, that shit is all influential, man, when you look back at it, man. So, that shit is dope, man. It's just something that I'm inspired and I'm always appreciative to be a part of as well. You know what I mean? That's where I kind of got my grind and my ambition from. And yeah, I wasn't there for the start of the shit because I'm still young. But I say my pops and that whole generation, the '70s down to the '80s. I came '86. That's when I came through. But whoever was there prior to that, he was telling me about battles with Busy B and all that type of stuff. He was there for that shit. You know what I mean? Watching it, seeing the first jams and all of that. So for that to be my pops, and him to pass that history to me from seeing it, I felt like that kind of sparked me to be like, yo, fuck that. That's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to put on and do this shit too because, I feel it.
Okay. Now, what about your life transition from moving from the Bronx to Long Island? Like, what was the lifestyle change once you moved out to Long Island?
Well, I ain't going to hold you, man. When I first moved to Long Island, I was kind of sad because, like I said, all that influence, a lot of my family, they from the boogie down even to this day. All my cousins is out there right now, a lot of them. And, my aunts, uncles. So I was kind of one of the first, younger cousins to kind of go far, you know what I mean, to kind of leave the X. So me being the oldest also, it was kind of, it was just different, you know what I'm saying? It was like, we about to go here and now we gonna move and we about to go zoom up over here. So, I kind of shedded a little tear, because I had to leave, my school, my friends that I knew behind and all that history. But I kind of brought all that with me, you know what I mean? I never let it stop me. It was something new. So I was like, we gonna go do it. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I always remember when I moved to Long Island because the day we moved there, we had a U-Haul and we got there, like mid-afternoon, almost evening. And we, packed our shit off the U-Haul into the house and we fell asleep. We ain't have no furniture up yet, so niggas was still sleeping on the floor and shit like that, you know what I mean? And my god brother who from building 40 in the tower was with me. He live in Atlanta now and shit, City Slick Sean. You know what I mean? He moved and helped me, as I was like my young comrade, like my young little brother. I'm like 2 years older than him, so he was with me in the U-Haul. And I remember me and him waking up in the morning and all we had plugged in was the radio. Because that's all we had, you know what I mean? Back in the days, remember, you just could play Hot 97. You didn't really need to have a CD on full blast. The DJs was going to be fucking shit up. So when we turned on the radio in the morning, it was announced that the King of New York, B.I.G., rest in peace, he was assassinated or murdered out there in L.A. And that's how I always remember the day I moved to Long Island. You know what I mean? It's like every time Biggie, that time comes around, I always would know. And it was unfortunate for hip hop because we actually lost one of the greatest at that time, Pac and Big, you know what I'm saying? So I remember before I moved, a year before I moved to Long Island, living in the Bronx is when I watched the news in the towers in my apartment, like Tupac has been killed. I was like, wow. And then the day I moved to Long Island is like Biggie Smalls is going now. So it's like, a lot of history with me in the transition. And when I got to LI, I went to a school out there called Smith Street. You know what I'm saying? I went right from 229 in 5th grade. My peoples was already in Long Island with the house. I had to finish 5th grade, so I stayed with my grandmother in the tower. She lived above us, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I was, with her, you know what I mean, living there at that time. And then from there, came to LI to go, I think, to 6th grade. So when I went to 6th grade, I went to Smith Street. You know what I mean? Got around there, got, met some cats. All my homies that kind of was with me through the whole Long Island stretch. Cause I kind of had the same homies for a long time. So once I moved there, a lot of niggas embraced me. It was a little bit different, it was homes and shit. So of course you're thinking, a little bit better than where I was at in the towers, a little more gutter there. But now I'm here as houses and homes. But little do you know as you live there for a while that it's ghettos everywhere, man. It's, there'll be forms of street niggas anywhere, man. You go to Las Vegas and you think it's casinos and you hit a back block and it's like it's the streets. So a lot of definitely people get that perception because of the houses and the homes, but if you really know, there's certain areas that you can definitely, you know, anywhere you go, something could happen if you underestimate. And so when I got there, I picked up on that quick. I brought my, all my swag, all my influence with me. Hip hop, as you can tell, was already heavily embedded in me before I even moved to Long Island. So, there's a lot of people I had, who couldn't really understand where my confidence came from, that don't really know my real story. They just think that I'm out here, saying I'm the greatest, or, why this nigga been chasing the dream from 12 to 31. Like, what's up with this nigga? Who he think he is, but it's just because it's just me. It's just the influence that, I seen as a part of my story growing up. That's what I know, you know what I mean? So that's what I gravitated to. So when I moved to LI, I met my homies. We started moving around young. And then, going from 6th grade, just being young cats, playing ball, having fun, we started, little mini gangs and shit. I already told you about my uncles and, the OG Max stories and all that shit out there with the blood shit. I was already familiar. When I went to LI, I was very shocked to see that the actual neighborhood that I was in actually picked up on the blood shit as well. So, my area, that I'm from out there actually was a blood area. You also had some folks out there too. You know what I mean? Some folks also out there in my same area. We actually always had peace because niggas is from the same turf. We call it the dark side out there. So you know what I mean? It's funny because in the Bronx, on the side that my pops and all of them is from, like Tremont, you know what I'm saying? Or like Burnside specifically too, that area is called the dark side, you know what I mean? So it's like I used to be in both dark sides, like it's funny, you know what I mean? So everything is kind of like destined, everything goes full square, so give me the confidence to know that this is what the fuck I'm supposed to do. So I don't lie, man, it was cool, you know what I mean? I started going to school, I became very popular. Niggas was calling me Shy Boogie too, so it's funny with the A Boogie, you know what I mean? It's like niggas was calling me Shy Boogie, you know what I mean? You always put that Boogie name to yourself when you're from the X, I guess. And then, I started running around and I started repping Long Island because, a lot of my homies that I actually fucking with was from different places too, like Queens. I'm from the Bronx, you had some dudes that were straight from LI too. So it was like a blend, you know what I mean? A lot of different styles, I brought Uptown Funny, some of my niggas brought that Queens fresh shit through, you know what I mean? Some niggas I knew was from, other places from out there. So everybody was kind of cool, had their own shit. I also brought a lot of that aggression that I told you my family bring, we not to be fucked with. So I felt like, I had to do that. So when I came out there, my hand play was already at 1,000. A lot of niggas know that. They know, my pops, me and this nigga be fighting Saturdays in the kitchen. Niggas just smack me in my head, play the eggs in my hand type shit, and I gotta go with them, you know what I'm saying? So he always toughen me up, let me know you're gonna be a little nigga, you gotta make sure you hit hard. So I always took that shit seriously. He probably was just telling me, father's supposed to tell his son, but I would actually go upstairs and put in the work and really, this nigga's right. I'm gonna make sure niggas don't fuck with me. So I ain't really, me and Ella, I don't gotta really speak on myself too much, but a lot of people know what time it is when it come to these with me. And that's what we was doing, man, Ella. And then after that, I went to middle school. With my homies again. It went from little small independent town gangs to really gang banging. Like I said, niggas was bloods. I was meeting a lot of OG niggas from my town that was older than me, that was putting in pain. And they gravitated to us as they little niggas. So we actually inherited a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? Some niggas that I knew who was in my crew picked up the flag, turned blood. Like a lot of my right-hand mans, you know what I mean? Niggas was bloods, and then we just kind of went with that, you know what I mean? We was known as the dark side blood niggas. Our area in Long Island, people is from Uniondale, actually exit 21 of the Southern State. That's right next to Roosevelt and Freeport and Hempstead. You know what I mean? We all, LI, Nassau County, then you got Suffolk County, over there more like Wine Dance where Rakim is from, and, all that type of stuff out there. So, LI got a lot of places, man. It's for days you can name different states and shit, but, I went to Nassau Community College after a while out there too, but when I was younger, in middle school, that's when the gangbanging started. A lot of fighting, when we got to high school, it was a side thing. You know what I mean? A lot of blood versus Crip action. A lot of, putting in pain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit, man. A few of my comrades actually, facing, life sentences. Free Slim, free my boy Lou Banger. You know what I'm saying? Coming up early, we putting in a lot of pain. I actually was a general within the set. You know what I'm saying? Niggas know. I had a lot of other general niggas too with me. But I was actually one of the generals, a decision maker You know what I mean? Somebody who could put that call out to make it happen. And I never